very warm welcome students. Today we will be learning about disaster resilience, innovations and future pathways for climate adaptation, the strategies for climate resilient agriculture and effective water management. Objectives. In this lesson we will learn practical strategies for climate resilient agriculture, learn strategies for effective water management, discuss future pathways for climate resilient agriculture and water management. Introduction. Think about how farming is usually described. Depends on monsoon, depends on rainfall, depends on soil. Sounds simple, but it's actually a fragile chain. One weak link and this whole chain shakes. Late monsoon, wrong sowing date, mid-season dry spell, crop stress. Sudden intense rainfall leads to waterlogging plus soil erosion. Heat wave leads to flowers drop, yield drops. And then the farmer's problems become everyone's problems. Food prices rise, milk supply drops, migration increases, local jobs reduce. So agriculture is not only a rural topic, it is a national economy topic, a health topic, a nutrition topic, even a political topic. Now water. Water is not just how many rain fell, it's storage, recharge, distribution, timing, quality, access and rules. Climate change is disturbing the timing and intensity of rainfall. More bursts, more gaps, more surprises. So the old normal monsoon expectation becomes less reliable. That's why today we keep hearing words like climate smart agriculture, resilient crops, drought proofing, watershed, micro irrigation, farm ponds. But here's the catch. Many of these are good ideas, yet farmers still suffer every year in many regions, meaning we need a systems approach, not one magic technique. The questions we pose are, how do we make agriculture less risky under climate stress? How do we manage water so droughts and floods don't destroy livelihoods? Now, what do we mean by climate resilient agriculture? Climate resilient agriculture means farming that can handle climate shocks like heat, drought, floods, cyclone, unseasonal rain with less damage, which will recover faster after a bad event, which will keep livelihood stable, not perfect profit every year but not collapse. It is not only crop yield, it includes soil health, water availability, livestock safety, market access and household income stability. Resilience is not only farm level, it is also village level and district level. Storage, irrigation systems, advisories, markets, institutions. If rainfall becomes unpredictable, then predictable farming becomes risky farming. So resilient farming is flexible farming. Now let's look at the strategies for climate resilient agriculture. The first objective, crop choice and diversification. This is the simplest and most powerful resilience idea. Don't depend on one crop, one variety, one season. Diversification strategies include mixed cropping, two or more crops together, intercropping, rows of different crops, crop rotation, changing crop each season to reduce pest soil stress. Why it helps? If one crop fails, the other might survive. Pests and diseases. Don't build up so easily. Soil nutrients balance improves. Practical examples include cereals plus pulses combination. Millets in low rainfall zones, they handle stress better than water hungry crops. Oilseeds and pulses where irrigation is limited. Next, resilience is not maximum yield is 1 year. It is reasonable yield across many years. Next, we have climate suitable varieties and seed systems. Using varieties that match the hazard pattern, that is drought tolerant varieties, deep roots, less water demand, short duration varieties which escape late season drought, flood tolerant varieties for waterlogging zones, heat tolerant varieties which are important for flowering stage survival. But a hidden issue is a good variety is useless if seed doesn't reach farmers on time. So seed resilience includes local seed banks, community seed storage, timely certified seed supply, training farmers to preserve and store seed properly. This is where research agencies like ICAR and programs like Climate Resilient Agriculture initiatives matter. Next, climate change is not only a new problem, it is also old seed system weakness becoming visible. Next, we have the sowing time, cropping calendar and flexible decision making. Old habit, which is fixed sowing date based on traditional monsoon timing. The new need is for flexible sowing based on weather advisories and actual rainfall onset. The strategy should include staggered sowing, not all in one day or week. Contingency plans, what to sow if monsoon is late. Short duration crop switch if window is missed. Re-sowing support based on the seed availability and cost support. The simple example is if monsoon is delayed, long duration crop may fail. Short duration crop may still give yield. Some of the notes like farmers can't shift calendar without support because labor, seed, credit all are tied to timing. Next, soil health management. Climate shocks hit harder when soil is weak. Healthy soil means more organic matter, better water holding capacity, better infiltration, less runoff, stronger microbial life. Strategies include compost and farmyard manure use, green manuring, which is growing legumes and ploughing them back, mulching, which is covering soil with crop residue, reducing tillage where suitable, like less disturbance, better structure. We can use balanced fertilizer use, which is avoiding overuse that harms and soil structure long term. Now, why mulching is so powerful? Because it reduces evaporation, it keeps soil cooler, it reduces weed growth and prevents erosion during heavy rain. Soil with organic matter is like a sponge. It holds water in drought and absorbs water in heavy rain. Next, the farm water management. Even small water storage on farm improves resilience. Strategies include farm ponds where feasible, field bunding to slow runoff, contour farming on slopes, ridge and furrow method in certain soils, drip irrigation in high value crops. Why does it matter? It matters because during a dry spell, even one protective irrigation can save a crop. During heavy rain, bunds reduce erosion. Next, the integrated pest and disease management (IPM). Climate change can increase pest outbreaks. Warmer temperatures help some pests multiply faster. The unseasonal humidity increases fungal diseases. Resilient strategies, which include pest monitoring like regular scouting, pheromone traps, biological control, which includes beneficial insects, biopesticides, crop rotation to break the pest cycles, resistant varieties where possible, rational pesticide use, that is, don't spray blindly. More pesticide is not resilience, it can create resistance and increase cost. Next, the livestock resilience. Many rural households survive bad crop years because of livestock. Climate stress affects livestock via heat stress, water shortage, fodder shortage, disease outbreaks after floods. Some of the strategies should include shade and ventilation in sheds, continuous water availability, and fodder banks and silage making, drought time fodder planning for community reserves, vaccination and disease surveillance, breed choice. Local breeds sometimes tolerate heat better, but productivity trade-offs exist. So, when fodder fails, milk fails. When milk fails, household cash flow fails. Next, we have the agroforestry and tree-based systems. Trees are slow but strong adaptation tools. What are the benefits? Shade reduces heat stress on crops and animals. The roots improve soil stability. Leaf litter increases organic matter and trees buffer wind damage. Extra income from fruits, fuel wood, timber. The careful management is needed. Agroforestry, some of the examples: boundary plantations, mixed tree crop systems. Next, shelter belts in wind prone areas. Trees are like long term savings account for farms. Next, we have the climate information services and farm advisories. You can't adapt if you don't know what's coming. So, the strategy should include seasonal forecasts, broad guidance, short-term forecasts for weekly, daily and crop advisories in local languages. At village level, interpretation is needed because raw forecast numbers confuse the farmers. But in reality check forecast is not helpful if farmers lack choice and support. Advisories must connect to seed, credit, irrigation, scheduling, market timing. Next we have risk management, the insurance, credit and safety nets. Climate resilience is also financial. Some of the strategies should include crop insurance that is fair and timely, which is quick claim settlement, otherwise insurance becomes a joke. Disaster time, credit support without trapping people in debt. Flexible repayment after shocks, employment support programs during drought or flood recovery. Why this matters? A farmer may know good practices but still fails without cash and support after the shock. Next, the post harvest and value chain resilience. Big loss happens after harvest too. Storage loss due to moisture and pests, due to transport disruption during floods. Price crash when everyone sells at same time. What are the strategies? They include improved storage, drying, moisture control, local processing units, the value addition close to farm, cold chains for perishables where feasible, farmer producer organizations FPOs for better market bargaining, diversification of income which includes processing, dairy, poultry, small enterprises. Next, resilience is not only growing the crop, it's selling it safely and profitably.